Full-time, full-time. You're listening to Full-Time Daughter. It's a full-time job at this point.
Welcome back to another episode of Full-Time Daughter with
Isa.
and Cailyn.
Another week, another episode.
I thought you were going to forget, and I was like,
Girl, we've never forgotten. We've never forgotten.
if we ever miss a time saying that, you better be on our asses.
Yeah, call us out.
Call us
out on it because that's our thing.
I think if we don't say it at the very beginning, it's just going to go downhill from there.
Yeah.
You got to set the vibe high, and we're staying on it. You know what else has stayed on it?
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what else we're setting the vibe high with? Take it away.
Full-Time Daughter officially is a year old.
Guys,
doing
she turned
this
1.
For a year?
Yeah, we've been doing it for a year.
That's crazy.
It's her birthday. Couldn't
She's
believe
a
it.
Virgo baby.
We've been doing it for a year and it's crazy. I was literally telling my mom and my sister and they were like, already?
Year?
Like, it's already been a year. And I was like, can you believe it?
That's actually really crazy to think about because the time that we were like, it was a concept and we were just having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like not a joke, but it almost felt like we were in on something that was like secretive. And we were like, oh my God, like, should we not?
Yeah.
And then we just did it out of like, why not?
Why
like people
not?
always say, if you're going to do something, now's the time to do it because
Mhm.
when else?
Yeah.
And it was the perfect time of like us being in college, same shared interests, same like.
It was also the beginning of our friendship. So it was like a nice thing to share together.
Like, where else can we go from that point? We were like, why not?
And also it was kind of good. Like, I like to think about it like this. Like, it started off as something like, oh, whatever. Like, whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. And now it's grown into something where we're like, wait, but we want to take this to another level. Like, we actually see a future. Like, how can we make that happen? So I was just telling Cailyn, I was like, this is only the beginning. Like, yeah, she's one. Like, it's been 1 whole year, but we're finally filming our
and
podcast.
like,
we're finally getting out there. We're like,
right.
we're like, I'm like, it's only the start.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's
even that,
thing.
it's like, I'm proud of us for staying on our shit because I know it can be hard to like start something that you're so passionate about, and then when you don't see any progress or kind of like the success that you immediately want to see when you first start something,
of course,
it can be discouraging.
Yeah, like we've been there. We've seen it. We're like, oh, that was a good episode, but like,
right, and it's like the views just
don't
do as good as you thought they would, or it's just like, oh, this is slower than I thought. You know, and there's like a work that goes into it, but it's been like so fun.
Yeah, it's been
like
so
getting
fun
to edit and figure things out and have these conversations with you guys because like we don't know what we're doing.
No, at all. It's so funny, like
but that's the whole point of it, is like we're having fun and, like,
it was actually, I don't know if I can bring this up, but it had to do with last week's episode. I wanted to say something.
Bring it up.
So like, maybe the way I was acting might have come off as mean or too serious, but I think what people have to understand about this podcast is it's like a learning, like we're literally just documenting what we're learning. So if I sound like, oh, this girl's never been in a serious relationship, like, true,
like, yes,
that's the
actually.
fact. But also it's just like, this is my experiences and my POV and what I'm living through, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. There's obviously another, like, I don't know, I feel like, and it's this is just my story.
It's like
and
our
your
take
story.
on stuff.
Exactly.
Our life experiences.
Correct.
Like, we might not have the most life experience,
correct,
or be able to give the right answers all the time, nor do we claim to have any answers.
We can just share from what we've experienced and what we learn and give you guys advice that might have helped us, or things that, I don't know, or just like make a joke out of things.
It's like, has anyone else literally experienced this? Because please
literally,
tell
like,
me,
don't
guys,
make me feel alone, please.
Please tell me, guys, that this is a universal thing, and it's been so like refreshing and so fun. I think also for our friendship, it's helped us like have deeper conversations.
100%.
And explore like all the things that we've been wanting to talk about, like with you guys, with each other. But that's insane. Like, an hour of being an hour. Not a single hour.
An hour full-time daughter.
1 hour. No, but like a year of full-time daughter is so special and so it's so crazy to me.
It's insane. It's been very rewarding. I appreciate everyone that's listened and like people that are following us just now, or I don't know, I just appreciate every single person that's even like followed us, liked a post, or commented on one of our episodes. Like, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And
we love you guys.
I'm like, I just can't wait to see where we go. I'm excited.
I know we say, like, actually in every episode, we're like, oh my God, we're so excited. We're so excited.
But
like,
it's
so many
truly
things.
such a rewarding experience.
It
And
is.
it really just, like, I don't know, pushes us.
Right. And like, we just can't thank you guys enough because you guys are the listeners.
Yeah.
And whoever listens to it, whether it's our friends from school, if
Yeah.
it's like somebody that found us on TikTok, if you're a new follower, a recent follower. Yeah, it's super special to us and we love talking to you guys. So if you have anything, any thoughts that you want to bring to our attention, you want us to speak on something, you want to share a story with us, we'll be glad to share in that experience with you.
Yes,
we are
love
right
it.
there with you.
Literally, we are right there with you, babes.
Like, literally.
I would love for you guys to like share this with your friends. I don't know. I always think about how like you never know when someone needs to hear something. So I don't know. On the off chance that you might be like,
these two wise ladies giving advice, or not even advice, but just speaking in my ear when I feel lonely.
Yeah, you might. I don't know. You might find comfort or like
I hope so.
a laugh. I don't know. Just think
Hopefully.
about it. Think
It's
about
just a
it.
thought. You don't have to. But
Just a thought. Thank you guys so much.
thank you so much.
We were trying to think of what we were gonna do for today's episode, and I just had to. I hadn't seen Cailyn in a couple of days, and we've had
It has been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
And I think I just wanted to catch up with you, but also catch up with everyone that's listening, and talk about some things that have been on our mind, things that we've seen on TV, social media, things that have happened in our personal lives. So I don't know. These are just some
let's
thoughts
do
that we've
it.
been having, and this is just going to be a little chit chat episode. So sit back, grab your coffee,
Right.
get your makeup done, do what you got to do.
Get
If you're
ready.
driving home, drive safely, but listen up, okay?
Yeah. I think this time of year is just like, I love this time of year.
The burr.
Like,
The
when
burr
the
months.
months start, you literally ending in a burr, you know, like that's when shit gets good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about the feel. And like, we live in Florida, so it's not that we even experience the actual
Autumn
that everyone else does and
or winter.
people look forward to is like the changing of the leaves and like the haunted houses, but
The cool air.
the cool crispy air
And like the fall drinks that you can drink outside. Yeah.
like we can pretend
We can
as much as
pretend, and we will
possible.
pretend this season.
And we will.
We are going to pretend.
You best believe, because
Yeah.
it actually keeps me going. Like, I don't know what it is. September like spurs something in me where it's like I hear September and I think of like fresh beginnings.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a new year. Like the second half of the year is like its own new year, and I love it because I'm like, it's my birth month.
I was about to say it's your
so
birth month.
fresh and
it's
exciting.
a very transitional month for me.
It
I think
is.
it's like the end of summer going into fall, but this is my favorite time of year, like fall winter. I'm a
love
winter
it.
baby. You're a fall baby. It just makes sense that this is
I
like
know.
when we're thriving most.
It's so there's just something about it. And September especially, I think of like school starting like from August and September, and it's been so crazy to me because this is the first year that like we haven't gone back to school.
Yeah. Isn't
during
it insane?
August, September, like the back to school season, and like seeing the kids, or not even kids, like they're fully adults like us, but people going back to school.
Yeah.
And being like, wait, I'm not in that
Yeah.
phase of life
Have you
anymore.
gotten
I'm
any sort of like FOMO or like weirdness?
a little
like
bit.
I'll see a video of someone going
I'm
to
like,
class and I'm
wait.
like, oh, but then I'm like, whoa, wait,
Like,
that's
we don't have to
not
show up.
normal. I should be happy I'm not going to
But
class.
in a way, I think that's a valid response because we've only ever known being like students.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
mention
like,
that.
especially this time of year, it's like, oh, this is like beginning of the year vibes. Like
Yeah.
everybody's going back to their classes, like they're finding out their schedules.
Yeah.
And that to me gave me like a sense of purpose or something.
No, for sure.
You
I
know?
wanted to mention that. I love that you said that because I think that for the longest time, my academic life was like, I don't know. I think I like was so rooted in that, and I placed a lot of value on like who I am based on that.
Right.
And it was like part of my identity.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned this in the identity crisis episode where it was like, there's a void in me now and I have to find a way to fill it. And I was like doing so much research on like, what can you do? And everyone was just like, go do your passions, things that excite you, things that motivate you and stuff like that. And I'm still trying to figure it out. But I feel the same way about that. Like there's this like emptiness, and I don't know
is
how to
so
like,
weird.
a lot of people just like jump straight into work. They have the internships lined up, they have their corporate jobs lined up, whatever it may be. And I just didn't have I that didn't happen to me. I didn't have that
Me either.
experience. So it's kind of weird because you're seeing the people that are living that way, people around our age.
And then you kind of feel like am I behind?
Yeah,
like I should already have a
behind?
job by now, or I should be jumping into the next thing and working towards that next goal, rather than kind of sitting with yourself for a minute. And
for sure,
I think connecting or reconnecting to the parts of yourself that you're like, maybe I let that go for a little bit, or I
definitely feel that.
You know,
I definitely
such
feel
a
that.
weird disconnect.
And it's also, I feel like a lot of people I see on social media, I follow a lot of marketing experts, and I follow a lot of like, this is what you should be doing in your 20s kind of people that give a lot of resources, and I love that. But at the same time, I see their lives and I see all the comments being like, I turned in my application, da 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 da.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so behind. It's like, what's more behind than last place? Because that's how I feel when I see those videos. And then I think to myself, I'm like, but do you even want to do that, Isa? Like, do you want to chase after that sort of thing? Because what they're showing you is people that want to do that. And then I'm like, no, but everyone else is doing it, so what am I gonna do? But yeah, definitely.
And just the self-concept that you have of yourself in this new phase of life that you're trying to navigate, because you're like, I don't really know who I am at this point, but I don't really know what I want. And should I be knowing what I want? Because I'm almost 23 years old, and which is also crazy.
Yeah.
Don't even bring the age 23 up to me, because I'm like, how am I 23? How am I 23?
I'm so excited.
Like, I'm turning 23.
I'm so
what
excited
is
to
that?
celebrate you guys. You guys will see. I'm so excited to celebrate.
That's crazy.
You. Yeah.
But
it's crazy. But my mom showed me this video and was like, get a piece of paper and write down everything you want out of life, all your goals. And I'm writing like, I want a ranch, I want to travel. And then the guy was like, in the video was like, okay, but now all your life decisions be like, how are you going to do that? And I look at my mom like, I don't know. like how am I supposed to know how I'm going to get a ranch? And my mom is like, you figure it out in life. And I was like, mommy.
You just figured out like, yeah,
girl,
okay.
Thank you. No, I love the sentiment, but at the same time I was like, I don't have like anyone as like inspiration of someone that's like going through what I'm going through, like right there in front of me. Everyone I know really went into like the corporate world or the medical world or whatever, and they've always been career driven, all that. And I think that's also what I struggle with, is because not just because comparison 100%, like that will
ruin you.
Comparison
will actually ruin you.
Isn't there a thing that's like comparison is like the thief of joy quote?
I literally love that quote.
But I think, I don't know if it's because I'm a Capricorn or just because I was always like raised this way, but I should always be doing something. And I think I'm a very ambitious person. I have really big dreams. And so when I'm not doing what I want to do, or I'm not at the place that I want to be at, I get really hard on myself. And I like kind of, and I'm like, but you should be doing more. There's so much more you can do. Look at the people around you who are working multiple jobs, going to classes, getting their masters. What are you doing? And that's how I feel sometimes, that I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. It's this really hard thing where it's like, okay, but if I apply for a master's, then I'm going to have this really big commitment. And I've been a student for so long. I know myself. I'm going to fall right back into that routine where it's like, okay, we're Rory Gilmore. We're literally, it's grad school. And then I'm like, okay, if I go into a job, then am I going to have the same, like, I really have to think about, like, am I going to be able to do the podcast? Am I going to be able to work on what I want creatively? So it's just like these things that I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I've been taking this time. We literally graduated, like a month ago?
I know. Literally, it's only been like
1 month.
A month, and it feels like.
And everyone around me is like, so what job are you getting? When are you going to work?
No,
all
I
that
can't
stuff.
with that question.
And while I understand what they're saying, like, you do need a job. I get it. I understand. I'm not ignorant. I understand fully, like, you need to grow up. You need the responsibility. You need to learn how to be independent. And I understand that, and I value it. I think also you have to have hobbies. Like,
you do.
I feel like
little things that you can do
that fill your life with joy. And I feel like I didn't do that when I was in school. So that's something I'm really, really prioritizing, and I really want to start doing.
True, though, because now is like the time that we have so much time on our hands, and that's not going to last very long. So why not like take in the moment and appreciate the time that we have now? Yeah. Kind of getting in touch with ourselves and seeing like what it is that we value.
It's actually,
because it's gonna be up soon, and
literally,
and that's so scary to think about, but also just like a whole new like phase of life.
What you were saying reminded me of something I have listed here which is, I saw this quote that was just like, take your life back. And I think that really like, oh, that was big. And I think that it was just like, you dedicate so much of yourself to education, and like people,
and other
people say what you want.
Everything.
I feel like say what you want about academics. I feel like a lot of people don't really feel that much pressure about college, but if you were like me and Cailyn, it was so big.
Serious.
Like
we took
it was so serious. Like you cannot fail the class. You cannot even fall below an A. Like dedicating so much of our time to our classes, to our projects, to just school. And I think that because of that, I just was like, this is my center, this is my sun, and
like your
nothing
entire
else.
world is school, and you're a student, and that's what you have to fulfill to make other people happy.
Yeah.
But then
you're flying on autopilot then.
Exactly.
And I feel like when I saw that quote, take your life back, I was just like, that's so true. If you're feeling like you're lost or you're on autopilot,
or if like all your value is just
on one
work,
thing or on a person,
on
like
a person.
I what I'm doing is I'm literally writing a list of things I've always wanted to do, and I have no reason not to do them. Nothing is holding me back. The only person holding me back is myself. But anyway, we were discussing fall, and then we fell into this conversation. But
that's its own wormhole.
Yeah.
That we are constantly questioning is like,
fall.
who are we?
Who are we? Who are we? That's our whole thing on our podcast. Figuring it out as we go.
Literally. But besides, I think that headspace of being in like this new fresh beginning,
right,
and also kind of being hard on ourselves and trying to take it easy and discovering like our new interests and our passions and stuff.
Yeah,
we have some things that we have been really into this season.
Yes,
that we want to talk about. Mention them, because even if it's like something very small or a TV show or something that can just bring kind of almost like escapism. I know it's not always a solution to just like escape your problems. Escapism. But like
we love it here.
We love it here. We really do. Like you're telling me that by sitting down and like watching a silly little show that you're like looking forward to, there's a release date coming, and like yes.
I see nothing wrong with it. I think it's really good, and I think it's comforting, and I think for me it helps me unwind, helps me like just get some comfort back into my life.
So
I love it.
And not to say I am so like every show, I know it's escapism again, but it's like you learn so much from shows.
Oh, 100%.
I am gonna defend shows, and people are like, yeah, stop wasting your time like sitting on a couch and like watching.
It's art for a reason.
It literally
it's
is
art.
like you learn from these silly little scenarios happening. If it's reality TV, like whatever, you're laughing because you think it's so ridiculous. Like that in itself is a good experience to me. So
for sure.
I want to talk about some shows that I've been into.
Tell me. I
think we need to bring up this one. Isn't necessarily either of our favorites, and we've spoken about it on the podcast, but we need to talk about the finale.
Tell me. Oh,
The Bachelorette.
A lot of controversy on social media, and I've seen a lot of people that are like Team Devin. A lot of people are like, Devin makes more sense, I believe him, and all that stuff. And I don't understand why they're taking that stance, because from what I've seen, he broke up with her, and in a way that is just so
disrespectful.
I just think
so low. Like
it's so low
because
it's really low.
You know what you're doing when you're doing it, and it just is like there's like no level of concern.
Yeah,
and he knows that after the final rose, where like you get on a stage and you're literally facing an entire studio audience plus all of Bachelor Nation, you're gonna go out there without like a single.
There was just no remorse. There was no empathy. There was no like I didn't see any sort of genuine like apologetic sort of
at all,
like
or concern
care.
Or just anything.
I don't know. For context, this is Devin and Jen. Jen was the Bachelorette, Devin was her pick. They got engaged. She proposed to him, and a few months, I believe, after being engaged, he called her on the phone and broke their engagement.
And apparently said that like he had never been in love with her, he wasn't feeling it anymore.
And he hit up other girls on social media. He followed.
He went clubbing.
Maria, you guys know
all this stuff.
Yeah, so it's just a lot, and I just think
it's disrespectful.
It's so
like
disrespectful.
Bottom line is it's disrespectful, and to not even give Jen the time of day to see her and it, like kind of explain the situation where his head's at before going in front of like a live studio audience.
Yeah.
I think it would have made more sense to sit down, have a conversation, and be like,
that would be the mature thing to do. And
hey, we're gonna break it off. If you
truly care and love about someone, you would do the mature thing. But I genuinely don't think he did. Sorry. Did you see what came out this morning though?
Yes.
That she was on the podcast and he said, she was like, I thought it was weird. There was like a little red flag where he said to a producer, how long does an engagement last?
Yeah.
And then she was like, I don't think he ever loved me to begin with.
Dude, so many red flags.
And I'm like, Jen, girl, I feel bad for her, but I think that she just wanted so much from that experience. Like she was the bachelorette. Who doesn't want to fall in love and who doesn't want it to make it work? And the way that he just went about it, like I also found out he like posted all their text messages.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
And I think that's so like, oof.
He
like,
posted,
oof.
He went on Instagram last night and posted like a whole, like an absurd amount of personal
he said
text
that, like,
messages.
his name was being tarnished.
And he was trying to, with these text messages, he was trying to prove that their relationship was real, and he was putting effort in because during the after the final rose, Jen was saying that he wasn't putting in effort. So he wanted to prove, apparently, by showing random texts. I don't know how that proves that like their relationship was real. But he put so many of those text messages that I was like, catch me actually like on the floor dead if someone posted like personal text messages and private conversation. Like,
the only time I want to see a text is when there's someone that is lying about something and you're like, oh look,
there's the receipts.
There is some texts that
no, but they were unnecessary. But like they weren't
personal texts
showing anything. It was just like
Correct.
their relationship, and I was like, what is he trying to prove with this? Like, I don't get it. But it was very strange. I don't know if Jen knows that he posted that. He apparently deleted it and then re-uploaded the same version of the video just with a little bit less of like their sexier text or something. I don't know.
Which,
what
to begin with, why would you even post those texts?
I just think it's like a game to him.
Business.
Like, he's just
and
like,
it's just so disrespectful. Like,
or he's trying to save face.
Yeah, like why would you ever post private,
know.
Intimate like text between you and your fiance?
Crazy to me.
Your ex-fiance.
Crazy.
But I know Sam M posted the
middle finger,
and I was like, you know what, Sam M, I don't like you, but I like how you call it out. Like, fuck you, buddy. That was so rude and disrespectful. And I just think it's like, I don't know.
Like, someone had to
hold yourself with some grace. I think it was just trashy and like, I don't know.
So odd. It's odd behavior.
It's odd behavior.
On the other side of that coin, though, I'm team Jonathan 100%. Like, I'm such a Jonathan truther. Like, that man to me, from like halfway through the season,
Savannah. You see how he acts? You see how Jonathan acts towards Jen?
You see how Jonathan is respectful? Yeah. Take notes. Literally take notes. That she's on Dancing with the Stars now. So it's like, girl, do your thing. Go dance, have fun. It's also I think the first season that there's a bachelor and a bachelorette on at the same time. Yes, correct.
It is.
Which is kind of
very
fun.
sad.
They're from the same year. Yeah. Like, wait, they're like exes. So that's kind of.
Oh my god, you're
like,
right.
She was on his season, and you're now they're like with partners. I mean, like he's literally engaged.
Yeah.
And they're both with different like partners, different areas of life.
I think it's funny though.
But it's just so funny.
I definitely want them to be like.
Also, like Anna Delvey, guys. What? Yeah. Anna Delvey on Dancing with the Stars.
You know what? I'm not shocked by anything in this world anymore. I'm literally like, you know what? It's Hollywood.
There's like nothing that surprises us.
Nothing that surprises me.
You know what? They were like, okay. I do have a show recommendation.
Oh, what is it?
Actually, two.
Okay.
One, I think we both watch, which is Tell Me Lies season 2.
Warning, may I just say, once you get started with Tell Me Lies, you're not going to want to ever end. And I watched season 1 when it came out last year or year before. Literally, it's so messy, it's addicting, and it's like truly like I feel like I was there and I was getting headaches from them because it's
very real, like
as hell, dude.
It's so messy.
It's very psychological too, like so manipulative. You almost like hate every single character. You don't like
actually not a single character that's good,
but the story is there. Like I genuinely think the plot is like okay, like it's messy, it's there's secretive. Also like
mystery, yeah, there's like mystery involved. I recommend watching season
100%
because
go watch Tell Me Lies right now.
Only a few episodes are out.
I haven't watched episode 3 and 4.
I haven't either.
Oh, period.
I haven't either. So I'm like, I was like,
don't tell me.
I don't even know if it's like an episode a week now.
I think it's 2.
Second rec. It's kind of old and it's on HBO.
What show?
Or Max. It's on Max, and it's called Search Party. It's I had never heard of this show. I saw a TikTok about it and I was like, why does this seem like something like I would low-key be interested in?
Of course. Is it reality?
It's not.
Oh.
It's like okay, it's very odd. Like, it's such an odd premise of a show because it starts off as one thing and there's 5 seasons. Yeah, okay. 5 seasons, but they're very short episodes, like 20-minute episodes. So it's such a like quick, easy watch. So it's like very low level commitment, you know? And I started watching. It starts off as this like murder mystery type thing where like some girl goes missing and they kind of get so enthralled and interested in like how did this girl go missing. Are they related, the characters, or no? They're not. They're random? It's some random girl from their school that goes missing, and there's a group of like 4 of them, and they're PLO. Like I think like early 30s. Okay. Early 30s, maybe late 20s. They're like older. So they're supposed to be like mature and they're kind of messy and they're very like self-absorbed and everything is about them. So it's funny because this girl sees a sign of a missing girl. She's like, oh my God, I need to figure it out. Like, I need to figure out who took Chantal. That's her name. Chantal. Thank you. The end might not be your cup of tea. I definitely liked the beginning. It's about the journey, not the destination. You're right. Okay. Like, you might be questioning, what the fuck am I watching? No, I feel like whatever. If it's entertaining, I'll do it. But it was entertaining, and it wasn't like I'll take all the recs. It wasn't a complicated watch. Okay. I'll take all the recs. I also take movie recommendations now because I started my not started, letterboxd users. I forgot about it, and now I'm like, wait, let me start doing it because I do have to watch more movies. And I don't think it's wasting my time. I genuinely find so much inspiration from movies. And, like, I see stories and I'm like, oh, that was so touching. And, like, I feel like there's so many films out there. I have to watch them. Like, I know. How can you go about your life without just, like, watching this movie, you know? Or, like, a concept of film or something. I'm like, ooh, I want to see that. So, like, started my letterboxd. Exactly. Above all. So, like, picking up my letterboxd. So, I will take any rec. I love Letterboxd. Any rec. I will watch movies just so I can log them on Letterboxd. I could care less about the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't care about this movie. Like, it doesn't even interest me. But so many people have watched it, and I want to be part of that. You want to be a part of that. I want to say that I watched it. And I want to log it on Letterboxd. You know what I mean? I love the people on Letterboxd that, like, write really beautiful analysis and really great reviews. And then me, I'm just like... I write some dumb ass like just watch the Minions ! Minions was great ! Which it was. No, me too. It's always a one sentence review that it's like the most like stupid thing that happened in the show and I'm pointing it out. I'm just like, I just am like I don't know. Whenever I have to sit down with a film and like review it, I always feel like I have to put on some sort of like mask or character and be like super Why does it feel like that? When I have to be so so intellectual. Like no, you're like trying to find like this underground theme. Yeah, it feels weird to me and feels odd. Like you're I'm like not that kind of person. No, I can be fake. I mean, no wait. I can be big deep, I'll admit. I'll be deep. It's just like I have to sit with it for so long if I'm gonna analyze it and truly review it. I just don't have the time. I mean, I love reading them. I'll be like fave movie ever, you know, like. And another thing about Letterboxd, because the people who do write thought out reviews like that, I kind of honestly love because it gives me an idea of what I'm getting myself into. Do you read the reviews before? Yeah, I do read reviews before because I have a fear. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast. You've mentioned it. That you're like, what if they hate the movie, girl? As if I wrote the film. Like, if I'm watching a movie with someone and they're like, all right, what are we watching tonight? And I'm the one that recommends a movie. I'm like, okay, like, we're going to be watching this tonight. And then I go on Letterboxd and it literally has 2 stars overall rating. I'm like, oh, I have to warn, like, I have to preface people. I'm like, guys, this has a Letterboxd rating of 2.1 stars. No one's gonna be mad at you, Cailyn. No one's gonna be mad at you. If it makes you feel any better, my favorite movie ever, my mom said that was the most boring film ever, and she literally fell asleep watching my favorite movie. And it's Emma 2020. Well, one of them, but it's definitely my favorite. And she fell asleep and she was like, Isa, that was the most boring movie I've ever watched in my life. And I'm like, you just don't get it. Like, were you even watching it? It's beautiful. The cinematography, the costumes, but that just attests to like the art of storytelling in movies. Because like, Mom, it could be one person's cup of tea and one person's like, okay, that was absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah.
And I question a lot of Letterboxd's reviews too. I can't take that at face value.
Right.
Because a lot of the movies that are rated really high, that I'm like, oh, I'm stat for this. And then I start watching and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Like,
that was me
were
with
people-
Juno. Juno is rated really high, and I can understand why it's rated really high, but for
Just not
me,
your
it was like a
thing.
3. I was like, I enjoyed it, but I was
Right.
like, whatever.
We
It's
just
cute.
we love just watching movies and
Yeah.
then writing silly little reviews.
I
Like,
love it.
the thrill of Letterboxd.
I love it.
What
So,
about you? What are you into?
I wanted to give a little update about my life while we're here, just because I was like, wait.
Let's get into that.
So, like, a couple of days ago, I think I sent you a random picture, and I was at the Hard Rock Live.
Oh my God.
And I was like, story time
No, and
coming
I was like,
soon.
girl, how did you end up here? Because like the entire day you hadn't.
I hadn't said
about-
anything, and then I was like, I'm here at this like auditorium to watch a concert. But basically what happened was I was editing the vlog all day, eating whatever, and my mom comes and sits on the couch next to me, and she's like, Isabel, do you know who Hans Zimmer is? And I was like, yes, Mom, I know who Hans Zimmer is. And she was like, would you like to go see him today? And I was like, so
Okay.
casual, like, where did you get tickets to see Hans Zimmer? Like, what is happening? And she's like, no, like, I was recommended we should go, and I have this extra ticket. Do you want to go with me? And I was just like, you
Why
know
not?
what? Sure. I'm going to
Love
go to
that.
Hans Zimmer. So I get dressed in, like, literally an hour. It was, like, quick. Like, my mom, I guess she didn't plan on taking me.
She was gonna go alone.
She was going to go with my tia.
Oh, okay.
So I guess my tia, like, the plans fell through with her. So she was like, do you want to go with me? And I'm like, yeah, I'm
Okay.
saying yes to things. So we go. It's so beautiful. Everyone's dressed really, really nice. Like, the way you would dress
The
to, like,
picture
an
that
opera.
you sent me, all I saw was like guys, and I was like, "Where are you?" Because
Oh,
I had
yeah,
to
I
look
was
up.
surrounded by men.
No, I fully was
The
looking
men
up.
were at Hans Zimmer, and they were like, yeah. They were like, wait, I'll get into it. It was so funny, dude. I was laughing so much because truly, like, it was just such a fun human experience.
I love
But
that.
everyone was dressed to the nines, and I love when people dress like that to, like, go to the ballet or go to the opera.
It's so cute
I
to
love
me.
when
I'm like,
people dress
the way
so
we're all
classy.
dressing up
I
right
love
now.
it. No, I adore it. I adore the classy attire.
love.
So we go and we sit, and we're literally the highest. We're nosebleeds, but we're the highest seat in the house. Like, my back, I could lean against the wall, and this was so funny. And I was like, wow, we're like really high right now. Like,
is that
this is-
Sabrina next
yeah,
month?
literally. No, like, dude, the wall was at my back.
There is
And
something to say about those stadium seats, though. Like when you're walking up them, why is it so scary?
It literally so scary. I'm not afraid of heights,
No,
but
me
when I
either.
was walking, I was
but
like,
like you feel like you're gonna. What if you fall
literally,
back or
they're so
something?
steep going up those
No, they're
stairs to the
so steep.
nosebleeds, and I'm like, okay, I'll just take my
Like a nosebleed
take my seat
concert
right here.
experience is something else.
Yeah.
So
But
funny.
we sit down, and immediately I'm like, really old men, like elderly men to my left, and then really young guys to my right. Like, when I'm saying like finance bros
Yeah.
and like corporate
No, that's
wear,
what I was
you
fully
know?
seeing in the
yeah,
film. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, where
and
are
then
you?
you know, the concert starts, and my mom gets a jump scare because they start with Dune. And you know how Dune, the lady, I'm not gonna do it, but my brother said I do it really good. I like recreated it.
The impression.
And my brother was like, wait, shit, that was good, Isa. And I was
One
like,
like and she'll
I'll
literally.
do it. One DM asking me to do the
We
Dune
just
thing,
open up
and
next
I'll
week's
do it.
episode of YouTube.
We open next week's episode.
This
with
is a
that.
good enticing.
Literally
offer.
one DM and I'll do it.
Literally,
But
please, I beg. Literally.
my brother was like, "Damn, Isa, that was kind of good." When I did it
Thanks,
afterwards.
Flex.
My mom got a like jump scare, and I was like, "Mom, that was so funny." Like, everyone looked at you because it starts with that, and it's terrifying. And then
No
we're like,
warning
I'm
that
like,
the show's
"Whoa, this is
starting."
great." They're playing it. Hans Zimmer is so charismatic. He's so Hollywood. Like, I can tell you're a celebrity. He was in jeans and a t-shirt,
Oh.
and he was like talking about all these celebrities he's had dinner parties
Oh,
with and
damn.
all, and I'm like, you're so rich and so celebrity. I love it. Like, truly, I'm like, you're so cool. But anyway, they start the acts and whatever, and I start crying by the second song.
Really? What
I
was
start
it?
tearing up. It was Wonder Woman, but his musicians, that were like the main people in the front,
Right.
were all women, and they sang the Wonder Woman song, and it was so beautiful to me. I was like, I felt like, dude,
When all of the
the
music literally
unity,
builds up and
the solidarity, dude. I literally was like, oh my god. And they're so talented, so passionate when they play. I was literally crying, and my mom was like, wow, girl, like, So yeah,
I love
and
that.
they play so many cool songs from movies we know, like Lion King and Gladiator and all that. And he's like telling stories from like actors he knows. Like it felt like a comedy show. He was so funny too. And he would do like what Taylor Swift does, where it's like, you're making me feel like I'm the man.
And then
he does like, you're making me feel like I'm in a superhero. Like I'm Batman. And it's like the music, and I'm like, okay, King. But then they started playing Pirates of the Caribbean, like the main theme. Dude, I was literally, I couldn't stop crying. When I heard that, I was like, it literally was crazy, because I was like, they're right in front, and I didn't know that it was also their voices. I thought those were instruments that you hear in the songs, and it's literally people singing. Like,
I didn't know that either.
No, it's amazing. They have all their string instruments.
Wow.
It was incredible. Like, I was crying so much, and I couldn't stop. Then
good thing you went.
I look at the man next to me over there on my right. He's also crying. Then there's a guy during the Pirates that it's like, dun, 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 dun. He's like jamming out, and I was like, you know what, King? Period.
The power of music.
Period. He was jamming out to it, and apparently there was like a super famous guitarist that was joining him, and I was like, damn, Mom, I don't know who that is. And my mom was like, super famous guy, blah blah blah.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, I wish I knew, but I literally don't know. But yeah, that just made me feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna start just going to random things.
I was
like,
literally about
you
to say
never
that.
know.
I was gonna
You
say,
genuinely never know.
one thing you can take from that story is to
just go to random things. We are gonna go to Sabrina.
We are gonna go to Sabrina.
And do we know what we're gonna wear now?
No. But okay.
Yeah, what were you gonna say? Because I was gonna say that we planned Hosier so far in advance.
I know, and not that we're not excited for it, because we're so excited.
We are.
And we're like, whoa! It
like,
just has slipped our mind. Like we have. Yeah. I guess it's like something that.
I think I know why.
Why?
Because we were in school and we had never gone on a trip together, and we had never even left Miami. So that was like,
right.
We're going to Orlando. We're going to Orlando together. We're going to go see Hosier in Orlando together, you know? So it was like multiple things. Whereas this, we've been to Orlando.
And it's in the same place.
It's in the same place. We know now.
We're
like,
more comfortable.
It's so easy to get there. We know how to get there.
I know. True.
So it's all that. But we also found out I want to make a trip out. I always want to make a trip out of everything.
I know.
I always want to make a trip out of everything, because in my mindset,
I know what you're gonna bring out.
Are you gonna the Wicked? Dude,
guys,
Universal, they opened like this like Wicked section where they're like, gonna have like
Wicked experience,
beverages. They're gonna have like, I guess, like characters, merch. They're gonna have like a little food dining area, and I'm like, that's so cute.
And it got announced like this past week, and
literally we're
the
going.
time that we're gonna be there. They're like, oh, late October. What? Like, we're gonna be in Orlando
in late October. So it's just like
this concert. So we're like, what?
Genuinely, I think it's like a sign.
No,
I genuinely think it's a sign.
What if like in the opening or something? Like, what if opening day is like? Oh my god, I can't. Wait, you know, like Ariana is like a major Florida girl. What if she decides to like make a little appearance?
I think you would cry.
No, I'd literally be like, guys, if you know me and like my stand, I'm actually ridiculous. Like, I know people are like, this fucking bitch. Like, all she does is watch like reality TV.
No, I think you would actually.
Twitter, like, what? I promise, there's more to me than this. But like, it makes up so much of who I am.
Yeah, I think if
like,
you met her, imagine if you like bumped into her in the bathroom or something. I think you would cry.
Okay, but.
No, you have a plan? You've made a plan before. I'm going to
speak this into existence.
Oh, speak it.
I have this thing.
She has a thing. She opened the Lions portal, bro. This happened with the Lions portal. Hold on, let her tell the story, because I'll just say
we're like, it's a little bit crazy.
It's crazy.
So like, it kind of started off as a joke. Like, I said something to Isa one time a few weeks back when we were filming something, and I was like, oh my god, like this is gonna happen. Like today, tomorrow, at some point, we're gonna get a notification that this happened. It started off like that, but I was like so sure of it, and it was kind of like a passing joke of like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like, why are we even questioning it? Like, I was so confident about it. Literally later that night, that thing that I mentioned happened. And we were like,
that's insane. That was insane. And I was like, Cailyn, how did you do this, dude?
And I was like, wait, but do you remember in the car me saying that this was going to happen? So confidently. I don't know how it was going to happen, but I said it would. Then later on, other things started happening, like
that you had said.
That I had said.
You said Lady Jane, my Lady Jane, you said
it's probably going to get before.
Yeah. If you go back, I'm not sure exactly her words,
think it's
but
like
she
2
mentioned
episodes back.
Yeah, she mentions it's like a Slayer Nay culture, pop culture. If you want to go back to that episode, Cailyn talks about My Lady Jane. She's like, I just didn't get anything from it. And I think she mentions the whole thing about like, I don't care about season 2. it gets canceled. There will be no season
like
2.
the day after that episode was
after she said
uploaded,
that, dude.
it was like, oh, it's not renewed for season 2. And I was like, did I do this? Don't talk shit on me. Like, if you like the show, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I did this. But all I said was, it wasn't my cup of tea. And literally the next day, they were like, actually, there's no season. They were like, Cailyn doesn't like it. What are we gonna do?
But there's been multiple instances, you guys. Like, I'm not gonna dish out Cailyn's laundry right now, but there have been multiple instances where she says something and then it comes true.
Like the other day too, I was like on my phone and I was singing a very specific part of one song. Like it's not even like a song that like you hear on TikTok. It was just a song that like I was singing a very specific part of it. I don't even remember what it was. I sit down, I go on TikTok, and I know you're probably like, okay, it's TikTok. Like, everyone listens to music on TikTok, like, whatever. No, the first TikTok that comes up after, like, 10 minutes go by of me singing that, it's the exact part of the song that I was singing. And my mom was like, what the heck? Because she was sitting next to me, and she was like, what? And I was like...
I love when things happen like that, though. I love when things happen.
What did I just... And so I'm like, my tongue is sacred. I speak upon what I like. I don't know if there's, like, something in the air, but I'm trying to
It is your birth month, though.
Maybe it's like me getting in touch with like the Virgo energy, the Virgo
manifest for everyone.
I am deep into the manifestation now because
everyone's asking you to manifest.
My mom is like, I need you to manifest for me because everything that you've said has happened.
It's
somehow.
Scary though. It's really scary,
and it's like very random things that like you wouldn't really like bring up into conversation, or like it's a passing thought where I'm like, oh, but that's gonna happen, and I say it so like.
You speak upon it and it happens. And you speak it into existence.
I fully do. And I'm like, I don't have a concept. I don't even plan like how that's gonna happen. So I don't know if somehow we're gonna end up at the Wicked Experience.
I hope we end up at the Wicked Experience. I don't know how we would.
I don't know how.
Let's get free tickets. Say it. Speak into existence.
Why don't you just call Ariana up?
We're gonna go to the Wicked Experience in Universal, hey, and it's really cool because it'll be like horror nights. So it's like everything's like Halloween themed in Universal right now.
I've never been during that
I also love Halloween themed parks. Like everything when it's like Halloween or Christmas, I go crazy. I'm like, yes, I love this.
No, I love it so much.
It's so immersive. I love it.
Oh my God.
It's cute.
I wonder
like
how
Halloween
they're gonna do it. But I saw like little concept art.
Yeah,
of
it's adorable.
And it just looks so cute.
It's adorable. I saw the merch. It's cute. So I'm reading again, which I'm so happy about. If you guys follow us with like in our book club, we're reading Blue Sisters. We just posted our book club video.
We went to
for the summer. We went to an event, and we have a little surprise coming soon. So
about that,
stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube. Okay,
wink, wink.
That's all we'll say. But I've been reading again, and it's so fun. And if you watched the book club video, you knew Cailyn mentioned that I wanted to get back into reading. It's just interesting. It fills that void. And I started
again, escapism.
Literally. But I started listening to this audiobook, and I was like, oh, but I hate audiobooks because it's just like, it's not the same.
It's different.
I'm listening to this audiobook on Spotify. It's the Unhoneymoon Crashers. That's what it's called. And tell me why it's a whole ass production. It's literally giving highest budget possible.
Really?
We have like sound effects. It's multiple actors. It's like very dialogue.
It's giving show.
So it's giving show. I'm listening. I'm like, oh yeah, tea. Okay. And also it's like bilingual. So the main characters speak Spanish and the family's Hispanic. So I'm listening to it and it's like, I understand what they're saying. So it's like funny. There's some jokes in Spanish.
I love that.
And I'm adoring this audiobook. I'm getting through it so fast, and it's like a short and sweet romance.
I would so much rather that than like the ones of just one person making voices
my God,
up.
Yeah,
like,
I can't with the voices, making the voices up. This
like if it's like
production.
a romance and you're literally doing
I saw starring this person. I'm like, yes, it's multiple people.
Love that.
And we're in Hawaii, and you hear like the steel drums. Ooh. You hear the ocean, and when they have like a phone call, the phone actually rings. Dude, high budget, good production. So I'm really enjoying it. And then I finish that, and I'll go to Blue Sisters, and then I have one more book to reach my September goal of 3 books. So I've just been,
you can do it.
Yeah, I totally think
especially
I
with the listening too. I think you're gonna.
I'm getting through it. I'm really getting through it. But also, I just wanted to say that my Goodreads, I completely took so many books out, like that I had read so many years ago, and I'm like, oh, I don't care about this, care about that. But also, can I just say, I hate the judgment over people that read like spicy books. And this was coming up because so many of my books that I read, I was like, Isa, was that even a good book? But I'm like judging myself because I was like, who cares if you read
and also it was
a spicy book? Like
I've never thought anything of it.
Or
like,
a book that
you're
has
still reading,
spice, you know? I feel like people judge you and they'll be like, but you're not intellectual, you're not actually thought daughter, you're not like this, that, and the other, or it's not actually a book.
I'm so not like that. Like with when I see people and what they read, I never correlate what they're reading to like the type of person or
I feel like there's so much judgment around that. And I was like, do I add it to my Goodreads? Do I not add it to my Goodreads? Like, do I want people to be able to see this and be like, she's...
Like, who cares?
I know, like, I think that all the time, but it's like, I just don't even want to
open
that up to
reads,
judgment.
To me, I'm literally like, you're reading. Why is that so...
That's true.
Like, who cares what
so
you're
I will
reading?
add it to my Goodreads.
And I add it to your Goodreads. I used to be like that too, though, where it was like, I would kind of pick my reads based on like, oh, is this making me look cool? Or like, I'm reading something that's something other than romance. But who gives? Like, I don't see what the big issue is. Like, if you want to just read romance and that fills something in you that you don't get from real life, or if you want to read something like fictional fantasy and you think people are gonna think you're a fucking nerd because you only live in fantastical worlds. We're there with you, okay? Like, literally, I will read all the romance books in the world to fill that void. I also started like a Substack, and
I was about to say, mention your Substack.
The Substack has been really interesting. I don't really know how to use it yet.
We'll add it to the description.
But it's been really fun if you want to subscribe to it.
So you can put your poetry.
I do post
beautiful poetry.
And just like some of my little journal entries that I've been writing, or book recommendations and like book reviews. I've been really into that since we're talking about books.
Would you ever take in like requests and do it on commission? I feel like
maybe
I would. That's kind of cool.
I think it could be so cool. I've also always wanted like a concept of like someone just being like, oh, I'd love for you to write about this. Like a poem about this feeling or this part or something. That'd be really interesting. I'm still learning how to like literally go about it, and it's just like a free little thing that I'm doing where it's like, oh, here's like a little journal entry, or
I love
like
that. A
little poem or book recommendation playlists. Me and my playlists are like this. Like,
I feel like I don't know if we've mentioned. I feel like we have mentioned it, but Cailyn and I both like to write. We do. You really do love poetry, and poetry just makes so much sense for you.
Lean that way.
Yeah. And I've been so like, when I was little, or not little, but like a few years ago, I wanted to be a writer so badly, and then I was like, no one's gonna read my stuff ever. It doesn't make sense. But then recently I've been just like, Isa, I kind of like this, and I kind of want to write again.
You're a good writer too.
It just takes a lot to write everything down, especially like long form. I feel like that I'm even more critical about, because it's like so much stuff, and then you read it over and you regret it. And I know people just say like, write the whole thing and then you can go back to it, but just write it all down.
But that's so hard.
It's so hard for me because I'm so critical, and I'm so like everything
like, you
needs to be
everything
perfect
a million times.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'll get back into writing, but I love that you mentioned that. I've been an insomniac recently. Can we talk about insomnia, because it's not cool, it's not okay. Literally, it's taking away my life. Cool. Insomnia is not cool. It literally, I do not go to sleep until like 4 a.m, 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's bad.
But truly, honestly, I think it's because of social media. Like, if I don't stop using social media at some point, I won't sleep the whole night. Like, if I'm still on social media by 10
You're like
p.m.
wired.
I'm wired. My brain is like overstimulated, and I can't go to sleep. So I've been doing this thing. I literally started yesterday where I was like, okay, no going on social media past 9 p.m. Like, just don't do it, Isa. Like, just don't go on it at all.
And like, you really don't need to.
You really don't need to. Like,
it's just
girl,
like,
those
so
videos are still gonna be there.
It like calls out to you. You're like, oh, I'm bored. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. But it's so bad for you
during that time.
But I have been reading. I've been listening to the audio, and I'm like, I love it so much. No, guys, like, the Honeymoon Crush is kind of good. It's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of good. Like, it's so quick. But anyway, I love the vibes. Anyway,
I love that.
But you could be reading. You could also be doing like anything. If you want to like stimulate your brain, you could listen to music, maybe practice something, journal. You can clean up your room or reorganize your room.
You really could be doing so much more.
You could be doing so much more than scrolling on social media. So I think that I just was literally, I think my insomnia is coming from that. And I think it's like, also, the more we post on social media and the more like involved we are in social media, I think the more I'm on it, just because I'm like, I can't miss out. Like,
I'm the same
what if
way.
I miss out on something? So I'm like, I need to kind of.
But truthfully, like, all the things that are there will be there in the morning.
Very true.
So I don't know why we get so
it's just, you have to be consistent. You have to do this and that and the other. It's
and
tough.
Then you just fall into the loop of just like scroll,
yeah.
and it's like that very short attention span where it's like you're fulfilled, like the dopamine,
Yeah.
I think it is, or serotonin.
Yeah, the dopamine. People are like, you need a dopamine detox.
Right.
I've seen that before, but I don't know if I can do that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I've also seen like the 75 hard.
Oh, I know.
I don't think I can do that.
That's very intense.
That's a test of my patience.
Maybe
and my
a 75
will.
soft.
75,
Like, I'm serious. Like,
75 like
75
in between.
hard is like, what?
Yeah, but I saw this girl on TikTok, and I know she like promotes her own videos, and I love how she promotes it because she'll act like she's like a person
Yeah.
talking about it, but she's the person that's like in the video. I don't know if that made any sense, but you understood it, so we're gonna move on. Anyway, she will post like, oh, do the Rosie Graham 30-day Pilates challenge or whatever, but she also does like full body, and I be seeing the results, and I'm like, hold on, right now, because I'm like, 30 hard, like, am I about to make that shit up? Like, am I about to do this?
What, like, it's hard? Like,
no, because listen, the only reason I don't work out, one, I can't go to gyms. I hate it. I think it's like a thing of hygiene. Like, I just hate being in a room with a bunch of sweaty people. I get so overstimulated so easily too. Like, if I'm around a lot of people, it's really like,
yeah, it's just not my scene. Like,
it's not my scene, guys. If you're a gym person, I literally
honestly,
am like, I wish I was.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, literally,
I've never been more envious of someone that can just go to the gym and not even think about it. Like, they're just going to work out. Kudos, period.
But they've all been us once.
Literally. So
but I don't know how people overcome that. I don't know. Like,
I just get overstimulated. I'm like, truly, honestly, guys, you're like, it doesn't matter. You're going to get over it, whatever. I've tried. I hate it. I just can't with how many people are in the gym.
No,
like,
I know. It like
truly
does something.
I can't do it. I genuinely can't do it. Plus, like, I don't want to like be working out with a bunch of men around. Like, it's really icky. I'm sorry. I don't like it. Truly, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. That's
literally it's literally it. So I'm gonna be doing my 30 hard in my backyard or in my living room, and I want to like track it. I want to do it. But the thing is, I wanted someone to like hold me accountable.
Okay, I'll hold you accountable.
But I'm like, dude, I really want to do it. I think it's cool. It's fun.
I'll literally hold you accountable.
Yeah, and to add to that, I have this on my list, and this is so random, you guys, but I have to bring her up. It's Nara Smith. Okay, say what you want about Nara Smith, but I literally did a deep dive into her life, and I
actually don't know.
Ask me a question about her, I got your answer. Like, truly,
really?
Well, it was just because I went down a rabbit hole, and I was like, I'm so curious where this woman came out of. Like, where is she from?
I only know her from like her baking and her cooking videos.
Okay, that's
like,
why I bring her up
from scratch.
Yeah,
but I don't know her like origin story, and I know she's with like Lucky.
Yeah, I literally did a whole like I know everything about this woman. Well, not everything, but like
I did find out she was like
social media.
22 or something.
Oh, girl.
She's like in her 20s.
When I found out she was your age, Cailyn,
and I was like, wait,
I was like this. I laughed. I was like, that woman is 1 year older than me. She literally, first of all, I had no idea because she looks a lot older. But also, just she's a mother,
and
like
her life is just so different from anything that I'm.
But honestly,
near.
I feel like everyone's path is their own, and I was just looking at her because I was like, wait, let me see her cooking videos, and the way that she is so, I just admire people that can cook, and I've always wanted to be able to cook, and I say that like, bro, why aren't you cooking? The only person holding you back is yourself.
Bro.
So I watch her videos and I'm like, wait, I can make that. It was like a 3-step thing that she made from scratch, and I was like, I got flour at home, I got strawberries at home, like I can do this. So I've been saving a bunch of her videos, and I want to cook. I want to learn how to do it, and I want to be able to.
You did say you were kind of more in your like cooking.
Yeah. I mean, I learned how to make, and I perfected my vodka sauce pasta, which it took me 3 tries to perfect, but my family really liked it, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make this, and it's really, really good.
She is Nara Smith.
Period.
Don't play with her. You watch one Nara Smith.
I watched more like 200, dude. I'm not like, kidding. Ooh. Literally, but anyway, that was just random. Honestly, it got me into thinking about like my health and all this stuff, because the reason she makes everything home cooked is because of her health. Like, she has like health risks and stuff, and I was just like, it is a healthier alternative. So I've just been thinking about like fitness, like, girl, why aren't you working out? Girl, why aren't you eating well? You know? So it's like, bitch, take care of yourself.
So much of it is like in our own hands, and we just like, and another thing is too, like, we'll like put it off one more day. We're just like, nah, not today, like we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. And then like tomorrow comes, we don't do it either. Don't do it. And that's when it falls into like this pattern of like, why am I not actually doing anything that I'm saying I want to do?
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Like, you just gotta And if it's shit the first time, it's shit. Like,
it's shit.
You're gonna
and what
be
are you
bad
gonna
at
do?
something when you first
That's
started.
what I always say. I'm like,
you're
girl,
not
you
expected
just
to be
started.
good.
And also, I heard
Like,
this
what,
thing where it's like,
you're not fucking, what's his name, Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. Like,
yeah, you're not Carmi, dude.
you're
like,
not Carmi. Like,
it takes a minute.
literally, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I think just do it and try to learn, and also you learn from your mistakes, and practice makes perfect. Like,
Agreed.
literally. But I think I heard this thing where it was like, tomorrow's you is gonna thank you for doing that today. And I always, I have that in the back of my mind now. I'm like, Isa, from tomorrow, if you work out, you're gonna be like, I'm not on day 1 now, I'm on day 2, bitch. Like,
Actually,
I'm
so
one
true.
step forward. Yeah.
And any little step that you take is one step forward.
And it's progress, you know.
progress.
I feel like
Small
right after
progress is still progress.
listen to this, period. Listen to this, guys. I did a booty workout a couple days ago. And was it good? Probably not.
No,
it
probably
it probably didn't do anything. But you know what?
No, but the
I
feeling
sweated.
after.
Dude, the feeling after, why was I shaking ass in the bathroom? And I had like
it makes you so
Juno
confident.
playing. I had Rihanna playing. I had Beyonce
I'm the
playing. I was
same
like,
way.
oh shit.
And it's like fully like a 15-minute butt workout, and then I'll literally feel like, I'm like, wait, but she kind of grew a little, and it's like, bitch, like, no, you're exactly the same.
Literally,
Like,
wait, I'm so glad another person feels this way, because girl, I
Same
literally, I'm
way.
like, wait, let me see it, and I drop my I'm like, damn, okay.
you would take a little moment of appreciation in the
You're
mirror.
like,
You're like,
wow,
wait.
she's like firm.
Yeah,
I
and
was
then
like, damn.
I did one yesterday, and today it's like, okay, and you know when you feel kind of sore the next day, but
Yeah.
you feel it in the right areas, and you're like, wait, so I did it right because I'm feeling it in the right areas.
I definitely want to grow my butt, and I want my abs back. It's
you
so
got
sad.
this, girl.
Yeah, it's just so
You got
sad
it.
when you go from being like a dancer and an athlete, which I was my whole life, to now you're like, girl, why'd you ever stop it?
I know.
Like, why did you ever do that? So I want to get that back. And again, the only person holding me back is myself. So I'm going to do
us.
it. Literally, that's
we
us.
take full accountability.
Full accountability. It's our fault. On my TikTok, I want to do a like glow up series. And I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I just think that me, myself, I want to glow up.
Yeah.
And that could be mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever.
I love that.
I just want to grow. It's like a new era. We're post grad, but I think that when you start taking care of yourself and like glowing
feel
up,
good.
whatever, you feel good. And I think that like,
You need
I don't know,
that.
everything starts connecting, your body, your mind,
really
your
does.
emotions. So I'm doing a little glow up series, I think. And the reason I say
would
that
like
is
to see it.
because, thank you. I said that for my like makeup, for example, everything looks so bad on me. I hate the makeup I'm doing recently. Nothing
Which is,
looks
like,
good.
not true. But I get what you're
to
saying
me,
from, like,
yeah,
it's,
to
like, an
me,
internal-
like I just think it doesn't work with my skin, and it's very internal. But also, I feel like it's just not my colors, and I just also feel like when I wear makeup, I'm not wearing makeup. Like I see the girls that do like the full B, and they look so
I know.
fire, and I want to
how
look
do I
like
get
that.
there?
And I'm like, why don't I ever look like that? I'm doing the same steps as them, but I never look like them.
I will never understand too, because I'm this, like, I will do everything to a T, and I'm like, wow, though, like, is it just like their skin type? Is it like just
I have no
me,
idea.
my acne? Like,
Genuinely
nothing
have
will
no
ever
idea.
lay on my skin the way I would like it to because I have acne. Like, what is it?
Second, I said I'm gonna work with the clothes I have in my closet, like work with what I got, but I also need to build a staple closet and stop feeling bad about investing in clothes I'm gonna have for years.
Yeah.
So the reason why I won't buy clothes or stuff like that is because I'm like, no, I feel so guilty spending so much money on a t-shirt, spending so much money on a pair of jeans, and
But you
then I'm
can
like,
wear it so many different
exactly
ways.
I don't know why it's so hard for me to get over that. It's like, Isa, it's an investment. It's also something you're gonna wear. It's a staple in your closet, and if it's cotton, like a good
Yeah,
basic
it'll
t-shirt,
last.
it's gonna last for so long. So I am
We're
gonna-
outfit repeaters.
literally
Literally outfit- and I have no
I've
shame in
worn this
saying-
skirt so many times. It's one of my favorite skirts ever. But
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna start working with what I have in my closet and trying to like build outfits and stuff. But also I need to go shopping, and I need to like
Get the basics.
glow up. Yes. And then also, you guys already know I'm doing the 30 hard or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm making it up. Like,
30.
we'll see what we call it.
No, but I don't do like a 75 hard, 30, whatever you want to call it. I keep like a little list of things that I do every day in my notes, kind of like a little checklist where like I leave the space open on the side so I can like check it off once I'm done. And it's like very easy thing, like simple things that I just do every day, but I like to keep track of it. And then once I do that little task, I like the little like,
You're Virgo.
yeah, I love
You're
the
so
little, I'm like,
Virgo.
ooh, I took my vitamins today.
So
check.
satisfied.
I did
Oh
my
God,
little
you remind
workout.
me of
check.
of the character I'm reading
know?
in my book. She loves it. She loves doing a little check
I
mark.
love my little
It brings her so much satisfaction.
Feeling that little dot next to
Yeah.
your notes are like, I'm like, oh, I made my protein shakes today. Oh, I did my little workout today. And it's not like a crazy workout or anything. It's just, oh, I moved my body. I stretched. I like I did the right amount of protein intake today. Like, I don't know, like it's kind of fun. Like those little steps of like keeping track of it, but it doesn't have to be something crazy where it's like, oh, I have to work out for 40 minutes 3 times a week. Like, you know, it's more of like a do what your body is telling you or what it wants from you, just to make sure that everything that you're doing is like in line with your health.
No, I'm literally, I love that. I literally love that. And take care of yourself and do what you have to do. And also keeping a list might keep you like accountable. Yeah. Making sure you get all that stuff done.
Do you guys know that like awful time when you're on your period where suddenly do we know? There's like that really awful time when you're on your period where you just think everything is like wrong with you and you look gross, you feel gross. Yeah. You literally look at your face in the mirror and I'm like, who am I? Like my face is uneven at this point. Like there's so many things that are off. My skin is broken out. And I hate that feeling so much.
I hate it.
Because you literally don't even want to leave your house. Like this happened to me a couple days ago. And I remember texting you.
Every cycle.
Every time, every cycle. Where you just like look at yourself and I'm like,
Was it the time I sent you the Darla and alfalfa? Yes. Wasn't that? I sent Cailyn.
I will literally just
so beautiful to me.
The most random thought. I'm like, I actually hate how I look right now.
The thing is, there's nothing you can hear from someone to make you feel better.
It's so internal. Like,
yeah, like I'll say you're beautiful to me and like, you look amazing, but that's not going to change from the fact that you feel that way. No. Like not to sound mean or harsh.
It's just part of the cycle though.
Exactly,
like,
I feel you.
You have that like, and I'm sure other people, like when I look at other people and they tell me they're at that part of their cycle and they feel gross and hideous and whatever and like a monster, I'm like, what? Like there's no difference to me.
I think it's just, it's hormone. It's such hormonal. Your period, like dude,
that's this era
literally.
I'm like, we got to get over that. We need to feel good about ourselves.
Literally, that's the whole thing. Is like that's the era that I'm in right now. Is like, okay,
feeling good about ourselves.
Time to glow up and get control of your life. Take control of your life.
With my hair too, like I know that now, like I post so much with like my hair, my natural hair and my curls.
I love it.
But before, it used to be like a mission for me to like even go out or step out of my house with like my natural hair, because I just used to iron it every weekend, like when I wasn't in school, like during my high school days.
I relate.
And now I'm like, why though?
All right, thank you guys so much for listening. This was such a little chit chat episode. Please be sure.
Cute, so fun.
It was so cute. Thank you. We appreciate you, and thanks for celebrating our 1 year full-time daughter. Oh my God. If you like to keep up with us, please be sure to follow us at Full-Time Daughter Pod.
The dogs are barking.
The battery's dying. Thank you guys so much for watching. All the links will be down below, and as always, we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Also, be sure to follow, rate, and review the podcast because it really helps us to grow our community, which we're really striving for. And our videos are now available on YouTube. So if you're interested in watching the podcast, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.